But you used the word genocide just in relation to Ukraine, but you haven't used it in relation to Gaza. Because the words in this instance matter, and you'll know so many people I'm sure have gotten in contact with you over the last. So many people have probably gotten in contact with you over the last 12 months in relation to Gaza, demanding that the government do more. Well, saying things is part of doing more.
Well,
would you not use the word? Would Ireland not use the word, or are they afraid of using the word?
Well, I think we've done an awful lot. We've done a lot, and we've done, I think, more than most countries. Ireland has put its chin out here in terms of Gaza. Rightly so, in my view, and we stood up for the important principles underpinning any conflict or any war. First of all, we want an immediate ceasefire. Secondly, we want the release of all hostages. So as part of that, hostages should be released anyway. It's a heinous crime to abduct people. And what Hamas did on October the 7th was horrendous. Now, so in the context then, we have also supported UNRWA.
So UNRWA, he says, yeah? UNRWA. Let's have a look at UNRWA real quick. So this is UNRWA's CEO, Philippe Lazzarini. He's Swiss-Italian. What's going on here? Swiss-Italian, right? Humanitarian, blah, 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 blah. By the way, this is one of the pages that I was telling you. If I bring it over this way. Now look, always check up here if you want to see if you can edit or not. This is one of the ones that's blocked. This article is extended protected. Extended protected. Right? Early career. He started in 1989 when he joined the Red Cross, International Red Cross. Fair enough. Did all them things, look. Jordan, Gaza, Angola, Rwanda, Bosnia. He also joined this place, the Union Bancaire, founded in 1969 by Edgar Picotto. This guy serves. If you go and check this out, this wiki page out, and go through this stuff, not down the bottom, just stop here. You'll see that he's a board member of a private bank. What's a board member of a private bank doing at the head of UNRWA? So, and Michal said extensive, didn't he? He did say extensive, if I remember correctly. The context. We've also supported unequivocally or something he said, I'm nearly sure. So what's the government of Ireland doing working with the guy who is on one hand on the board of a privately owned bank, but he's also the CEO of UNRWA, one of the biggest charities at the moment. It's like United Nations. So you're going to see loads of them spring up now on something, right? So it's like a branch of the UN. I'd imagine it's how they get their claws into certain countries, you know. It's a branch of the UN, basically. Sorry, I'm just getting comfortable here. So let's continue with El Martin.
Better than most, and we've held the line for UNRWA when they came under attack. Most people contacting me are saying they're pleased with the stance Ireland has taken. They're extremely horrified with what's happening in Gaza. I believe what's happening in northern Gaza right now is an attack on the population of Gaza.
It's genocide.
You won't say genocide, though.
There's an international framework for that.
I know, but you've used the word before yourself,
We're prepared to take a case. We haven't taken a case in respect of Ukraine. We've joined Ukraine in counteracting a Russian claim of genocide against Ukraine. It's a different thing. That was misrepresented at the time, if you remember. Sure. But what we're doing in terms of Gaza, and let's be clear now, we're one of the few countries in Europe that have exhausted the International Court of Justice.
And did you see the way he smirked a bit when he said that? Let's go back again. He smirks a bit, doesn't he?
It's misrepresented at the time, if you remember. Sure. But what we're doing in terms of Gaza, and let's be clear now, we're one of the few countries in Europe that have exhausted.
So he's proud of being one of the first countries in Europe to exhaust a court system, International Court of Justice. You know, he's proud of that. They're proud of that because his little snigger comes out.
The International Court. And let's be clear now, we're one of the few countries in Europe that have exhausted the International Court of Justice.
Being one of the least worst in terms of actually taking a stance in terms of...
I wouldn't use that phrase.
Would you not?
No, that's outrageous. Seriously, no. But that narrative has to stop. I'm going to push back here a bit now.
Absolutely.
He was offended there by that.
Let's get real here. Yeah. This idea of sort of who has the monopoly of sort of outrage or...
Well, nobody does.
I know, but to use the phrase least worst now is a pejorative term.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was the first time I heard that word. Pejorative. First time I ever heard it in my life. 41 years. Pejorative. Expressing contempt or disapproval. So basically what Mr. Martin's telling you there is there's no one that has a monopoly. Use that word monopoly as well. There's no one that has a monopoly over who can approve of something or disapprove of something. In other words, let us do it. We'll do it. We'll look after all of that stuff. But we can guarantee you that there's no one out there who's directing what you can approve and disapprove of. Because you got offended by your man saying, well, you're really like the lesser of two evils or whatever it was. Took serious offence and he went on the offence with that word, pejorative.
That has no application to how Ireland has responded to the situation in the...
And the hand movement. Hear me dog knocking our ball? I'm going to feed them. Yeah, but Martin, Mr. Martin, admits now to working with the CEO of UNRWA extensively, who happens to also be on the board of a privately owned bank in Switzerland.